Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, the food for thought exploration station and your place in making today better than yesterday. Life has its everyday challenges, some easier than most, but the fact is challenges are inevitable. I say it all the time. We sometimes wish that life followed the straight and narrow, that the path was smooth and easy, that it was a straight line from one end to the next, but the reality is life is mysteriously beautiful. The ups, the downs, the curves, the colors are all part of the rare gifts of life. Our time here is limited, so why not make the best of every moment possible? Every month here at the Lone Doctrine, we choose a topic to explore, and this month we'll be exploring the idea of habits, more so how to maintain good habits that keep us from falling into the abyss of life's stresses. It's so important to feed our minds with the good stuff, and we sometimes forget when we get wrapped up in the routine of life. We pay more attention to our body, but it actually is proven that many of us neglect our minds. It's easy these days with all the distractions at our fingertips. I see more heads down in their phones than ever. And I'll be honest, technology has its benefits and advancements, but it's slowly draining our well-being. We're becoming digital zombies of sorts. So, how do we put ourselves in the position of making sure we're not caught up in the web of distractions and missing out on the best parts of life? Habits, habits, habits. What are our habits, and are they lifting us up or bringing us down? At the Greater Good Science Center, they did a study, which I thought was cool, and researched some of the most effective ways to make change for the better. So today, let's explore to change yourself, change your world. If you want to change your life for the better, if you want to keep your goals, if you want to stick to your resolutions, start by changing your environment. People high in self-control intuitively seem to know this. According to a 2015 study out of Florida State University, participants with lots of willpower, the ones who said they have iron self-discipline and resist things that are bad for them, also take more steps to minimize the temptation they encountered in daily life. Even though their self-control is strong, they are the ones who put their smartphones away when working, leave the credit cards at home, and keep junk food out of the house. This study extends an earlier finding that people high in self-control spend less time resisting impulses on a daily basis. Contrary to the popular view, the strong-willed are not the ones who constantly stare down bowls of Snickers without caving. Sometimes they steer clear of the candy bowl altogether because they know how strong the allure is. As we put our resolutions into practice, as we put change, real change into practice, we should take a page from their book and try to avoid tempting situations instead of just relying on willpower. Resisting temptation is the salient moment of struggle. That's when you feel it. If you can avoid temptation, it will not even occur to you. Success without effort. That works if our resolution involves avoiding French fries and not yelling. But what if we want to perform some more positive behavior, such as keeping a gratitude journal or exercising more? The same logic applies. We can use willpower, the strength to choose journaling over TV, or to rise at 6 a.m. for a weightlifting session. But we shouldn't forget about our environment. According to a 2002 study on New Year's resolutions, compared to people who failed, successful resolvers were more likely to use a technique called stimulus control, keeping things around to remind them of their goals. In a 1989 study, researchers followed up with New Year's resolvers 7 times in a 2-year period and asked which techniques they were using to keep their resolutions and whether they were succeeding. Among 13 different strategies, including the exercise of willpower, keeping physical reminders was one that was linked to success at every single stage. Participants who broke their resolutions cited the lack of a physical reminder was one of their biggest pitfalls. The right environmental cues can even influence our behavior without us realizing it. In one study, participants who ate a crumbly cookie were 3 times more likely to clean up after themselves when the air smelled of citrus cleaner. In another study, participants playing an investment game were more aggressive when a briefcase sat on the table instead of a backpack. The signals all around us, the art on the walls, the stores we pass by on the way to work, may be covertly influencing our behavior. Cues like locations and people can trigger habits that feel automatic. So try this. Map your habits. This doesn't mean we have to be slaves to our surroundings, but it does mean that external forces play a vital role. As you map out your goals and you map out the change you seek in your life, consider constructing a supportive environment as your foundation. Here's some ideas. Put it on a calendar. Considering that 10% of people break their habits due to sheer forgetfulness, a little reminder couldn't hurt. Add your resolution or goal as a reoccurring entry on your calendar or a to-do list, or as an alarm on your phone. And never underestimate the power of a post-it on the mirror. Steer clear of temptations. Part of goal setting involves identifying problems and obstacles. So hopefully you already know when and where your resolve tends to waver. Follow the lead of willpower superstars and avoid those situations. If rush hour traffic threatens your goal to be more kind, start leaving for work earlier or later. If you click over to YouTube looking for meditations and end up watching cats, consider downloading a dedicated meditation app. And surround yourself with inspiration. Set up a workplace. Set up a place in your home and in life that supports your aspirations. An Eye of the Tiger ringtone might remind you of your Rocky-inspired fitness goals, while a photograph of your parents might prompt you to call them on Sundays. Consider tweaking the screensavers, passwords, and desktop photos you encounter every day, or find a piece of jewelry that is especially meaningful to you and can serve as an anchor when you're tempted to give in. When we succeed or fail at our resolutions, the impulse is to blame our steely willpower or lack thereof. Our external environment may seem unimportant, and perhaps that's why we rarely pay attention to it and fail to see the subtle, pervasive impact on our most cherished goals. Have you ever stopped to look around at your environment? After exploring this concept of changing your environment to really guide and support your goals and the change you're seeking in your life, I can not only examine what I've come to find works best for me, but then also think about the people I surround myself with and how that's impacting my habits. We can surround ourselves with inspiration at every turn, whether it be things on the wall, our favorite motivating song, having pictures up of those who inspire us, but we can also surround ourselves with individuals of like mind, of those also reaching for change, for betterment, and for growth to create a kindred crew of sorts. All of the aspects are actionable and practical. Now it's up to you to take action. Join us on any and all of our social media platforms and share your ideas. We love hearing from you, and together we are better. We hope to see you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Lone Doctrine. So, how are you going to change your world in order to change your habits? If you found value in the Lone Doctrine, we would be so grateful for your support. We've partnered up with Patreon, which is a place where you can help us stay on air and keep our doors open in supporting our listeners in making today better than yesterday. Thank you so much for your consideration, your support, and a special thank you to our current Patreons who make the Lone Doctrine possible. We hope to see you at patreon.com/Lone Doctrine. patreon.com/Lone Doctrine. Thank you so much for your consideration and support. Anything and everything is greatly appreciated. We stay on air because of you, and together we can keep making today better than yesterday. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.
It's